Hello class 12, welcome to your education online class. We were discussing Indian University Commission 1948-49 and we have learned that it's the first Indian education government in free India and commission, and that's why they were the first and foremost target of them was to develop the university level education and higher level of education, and under the chairmanship of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan and the secretarianship of Mr. Nirmal Kumar Nirmal Kumar Siddhant, the commission has submitted 747 report consisting of 747 pages, and the main aim and target was the development of the higher level of education. And in last videos we have started the aims of the Indian University Commission, and we have seen that first thing what they want to do is they want to select some scientific minded people, some educated people for giving instruction, for directing, for controlling the university level education. Those who are updated, those who knows better than other people, and those who can direct and control the entire situation, as the main motive of the commission was to develop the social economic status of India, and to make the people education minded and to make the people broad minded, scientific minded. So the first and foremost point what we have seen is number one, they want to select some scientific minded people, those who can work well, those who can understand well, and those who can administer well. And secondly, we have seen that the University Commission has told that there should be no imitation or blind, there should be no blind imitation. Means people must understand before believing something. We have heard something and we are believing. Nowadays, many things are coming up in YouTubes, and different fake channels are growing for spreading different news to make us afraid of this present situation. So, should we believe on that? So, we have to make our mind and we have to justify whether, and we have to think rationally that yes, what is happening, what they are saying, is it true or is it false? We should not understand, or we should not think blindly or imitate blindly someone. Okay, so that was the second point. Today we are continuing with the third point. Existing culture and tradition should be analyzed. So what the more or less same point like the second one, the culture, the present culture and traditions, what are being followed by the people, they should be evaluated. That yes, some part of the tradition, we are modernizing ourselves, the days are of modernization, it is okay. That does not mean that all the traditions and all the cultures we will leave behind and we will proceed. We have to select that which tradition and which culture is acceptable, which is good for us and which is healthy for us, and taking them and leaving the other part behind which we really don't need or we don't want. So the existing culture and tradition should be analyzed, and through analyzing we will understand, the people of free India will understand that yes, it was for the benefit of other people, that it is not benefiting us. So we will take this part of our tradition and culture and we will proceed, but leaving behind the unwanted part or not the part which is not desirable. Fourth point, essentials to keep harmony. This is very essential to keep harmony. See, as Indian people are growing, developing slowly, the Western effect and Western world, they have already united themselves and they have developed and they are better than us in some aspects, isn't it? So we have to maintain the harmony between us, so to keep the unity and bond between the Indian people. Next, knowledge will help make wise individual. So University Education Commission and the people administering, they have decided that the knowledge which will be provided by the think tanks, by the scientists, by the educationists must provide the individual some wise information to lead their life smoothly, so that they can lead a life of intelligence, they can lead a life of prosperity. Now, as they have taken, see, the young students, the young learners, those who are learning, they are the upcoming generation of our country. So the education what they are going to get should help them develop, should help indirectly the country to develop more, isn't it? So the knowledge which will be provided by the teachers, by the educated person, will help them to make wise individual, so that they can work tactfully, they can handle tactfully, they can work efficiently for the betterment of the country. Next point, must link the ideals of the society. See, another thing is very important, that is the society. Society is always continuously changing, and the need and desire of the society is ever changing. So whatever the society need, according to the need of the society, the ideals, the thoughts, the thinking, everything should be changed. So the education, the knowledge which will be provided by the guide, that will help them to make individual, those who are very much fitted for the society, those who can develop the society. And society is indirectly dependent on individual, and individual, they work for the society. So there's a relation between that. We know that in nowadays also we agree that society and individual are interdependent, they have a correlation in between them. So this is the next point, which is telling that whatever the teachers, whatever the think tanks, whatever the guide, they will provide the individual, they make them wise individual, as well as the person who can devote something, contribute something for the society. So this is all for today. Next day we will continue the remaining part of Indian University Commission. We should not forget that whatever Indian Education Commission is doing, it is immediately after India's freedom. India has got freedom, and they are targeting the people, those who are studying higher level, and that's why they are selecting some people, those who are really worthy. Thank you so much.